Hi everyone, good day. This is Miriam, and today we are going to demystify the Intel processor lineup. So, we'll be discussing the key differences between Intel i3, i5, i7, i9, and Xeon. Hopefully, at the end of the video, you should be able to look at any computing task, whether it's gaming, running a server, or just browsing the web, and know exactly which processor is the right fit. So, this is the Intel Core series or the consumer line. The Core series, which is the i3, the i5, the i7, and 9, are the backbone of the consumer laptops and desktop PCs. So they form a hierarchy. The higher the number, the more power you get, and generally, the higher price tag. So let's begin with the Core i3. This is our basic entry level offering. It is ideal for basic everyday tasks like web browsing, handling emails, and basic office work. So if you're a budget conscious user who just needs a responsive machine for simple tasks, the i3 is a great choice for you. Stepping up is the Core R5. So the Core i5 is like a mid-range sweet spot. It offers a fantastic balance of price and power for the vast majority of the users. It is excellent for mainstream gaming and serious multitasking. So next is the Intel Core i7, our high performance chip. So this is for the power users and those that have demanding jobs like content creators. So, if you're into heavy video editing, advanced photo manipulation, or 3D rendering, the i7 provides the smooth, responsive experience you need. And finally, we have the Intel Core i9. So, the Intel Core i9 is the enthusiast and prosumer grade processor. It is built actually for extreme performance, complex workflows, and what we call megatasking, running multiple demanding applications simultaneously. So i9 offers the absolute highest core count and clock speeds in the consumer line. So these processors are commonly used for everyday computers. Remember, the higher the number, the more powerful and expensive the processor. Now, let's talk about the key differences of this core series. So, if we are going to see on our visualization, we can see how this performance metrics actually range from each Intel Core family. The length of the bar represents the relative magnitude of the metric from small to very large or lower to the highest. So when comparing these core processors, we look at four main metrics. First is that we have the cores, second is the threads, third is the cache, and fourth is the clock speed. So as you move from i3 to i9, you can actually see a consistent increase across the board. Typical course jumps from 4 to 6 on the i3 up to 12 or more on the i9. So this increase in physical cores allows the CPU to handle more tasks simultaneously. Threads, on the other hand, which represent simultaneous tasks per core, also increases as the series increases. So this allows that more core, the threads also increase, boosting the processor's efficiency. The L3 cache is actually a small, extremely fast memory pool. Also scales up dramatically as you progress through the series. So more cache means the processor can access frequently used data faster, leading to quicker repeated tasks. We also see here the clock speed. So for the clock speed, there are two crucial features in the higher tires. The turbo boost automatically and dynamically increases the processor's operating frequency when you need a temporary performance spike. And for ultimate customization, the K and X series chips support overclocking, it allowing advanced users to manually push the processor beyond its factory settings, or a feature generally available from the i5 tar upwards. So for use cases, i3 is for everyday, i5 is recommended for gaming and general, and Core i7 is for creative work, and Core i9 or for extreme performance. So now let's turn our attention to the Xeon family. So while the core chips are actually for consumers, Xeon processors are the professional standard for servers. Okay, so Xeon processors are standard again for servers, data centers, and high end workstations. Here, the focus shifts entirely from row speed in a single application to reliability, scalability, and stability. So these Xeon chips have three critical differentiators. First is the EEC. So this EEC, or error correcting code memory, it is specialized RAM detection and corrects the most common types of internal data corruption, which is actually very vital in environments where a single error can compromise critical data or shut down an entire system. Second is a multi-core socket support. So high-end Xeon motherboards are designed to house two or even four CPUs, allowing for massive unprecedented parallel computing power. So this is impossible with the Core series. Finally, for Xeon chips, they are available with massive core counts, far exceeding the core series. They are optimized specifically for handling huge amounts of parallel workloads in servers and also in workstation. Their use cases are actually for scientific simulations, professional video production, and database management. So to bring it all together, if you look at this core versus Xeon a summary, it actually shows you the architectural divide between the Intel Core and the Intel Xeon. So this visualization is the fundamental difference in purpose and features between the consumer, which is the core, and the professional, which is the Xeon processor families. So let's go again with Intel Core. So the Intel Core family targets consumers and gamers. It is designed to focus on high clock speed and single core performance, which translate to a snappy desktop experience and great gaming frame rates. They include integrated graphics and are generally more cost effective. So for the Intel Scion, this family is actually for professionals and businesses. Its focus is on rock solid reliability, multi core performance, and advanced features. So you get ECC RAM support and multi CPU capability, making it the non negotiable choice for mission critical applications and large scale server infrastructure. So, the final conclusion is choose Intel Core for your personal computer, especially if gaming or content creation is your main goal. Use Intel Xeon when system stability, high core counts, and data integrity where downtime is simply not an option is paramount. So thank you for your time and attention, and I hope this breakdown has helped you clarify the distinct roles of the Intel i3, i5, i7, i9, and also the Xeon processors. Credits to the following resources. See you next time. Bye.